Clinic. My name is Omai Sanganga, and I want to thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of fun, learning, and enlightenment. So, today we are going to talk about stress. I'm sure so many people want to know and learn and understand what stress is. So first, I'm going to tell you a myth. All of us think that stress is a mental condition, or maybe most of us, there are some who already know. But the fact is, stress is not a mental condition, but stress in excess is what causes a mental condition or mental illness, such as depression and anxiety. So let me start by explaining what stress is. Stress is the body's reaction to internal or external stimuli, or in layman's terms, you can say it's a way that the body reacts to threat or demand. These stimuli, they're simply known as stressors. So stress is caused by a mismatch between perceived demands and perceived ability to cope with these demands. So let me give you a short example of what perceived demands and the ability is all about. For example, now maybe you are at home and you've been laid off work and you have a specific amount of money that you're supposed to use, and there is no input, and you have a whole family of 10 people, or maybe 6, or maybe 5. That family needs to be fed. There is no input, but there is an output. So there is a demand to have food, but the ability for you to provide the food, or the ability to have the money to provide the food, is not there. So the ability to cope with the situation causes stress. So basically, that's what the point is about. Let's talk about stress response. Before we get there, I want to explain that these demands cause stress responses. So let me explain what stress responses are. Stress responses are basically a set of adaptations by the body to maintain a biological balance in the face of threat, loss, and harm. So when you have stress, the body has its way of making a balance. So you find yourself, as much as you're stressed, you're a bit calm, you're a bit relaxed. That is because these responses are keeping a biological balance in your body. There are 2 types of stresses. One, there is acute stress. Acute stress is stress that comes and goes away quickly. This type of stress helps us to evade dangerous situations. It causes what we call fight or flight. When you are in a situation that you feel is uncomfortable, because of that stress, because of that situation, you run away. You're able to run away because the body is alarmed, your blood is racing and all that. The second type of stress is chronic stress. Chronic stress is stress that lasts for a longer period of time. Chronic stress is now the real thing. It's now the real thing. I mean, you can get used to chronic stress such that it has become your new normal. You don't realize that you have a problem. Now that is what we call bad stress. I want to give you an example of a scenario of having acute stress. Right now during curfew times and all that, imagine you've been got outside by a police officer without umechelewa tu kidogo, and you're trying to run, and all of a sudden you patana with a police officer. That adrenaline that makes you chomoka there because you know the rungus that you're going to be beaten is what we call acute stress. Adrenaline ile inafanya ukimbie. You're running away from a lion and you're on top of a tree. All of a sudden you don't know how you got there. That is acute stress. It is important to have that kind of stress, because imagine upatane na a lion and you don't run away. It will devour you, my friend. You're going to die. So it is normal to have acute stress. So that is the good kind of stress. The next point is causes of stress. We think that stress has to be negative, but the truth is Stress doesn't have to be negative. There is positive stress and there is negative stress, but both extremes are dangerous. So you have to find a certain balance between negative and positive. Common causes of stresses are categorized into: one, there is internal causes of stresses, and there is external causes of stresses. External causes are common. These are things that we know: major life changes like loss of a loved one, a new job, financial crisis, work, school, relationship difficulties, being too busy, children and family. These are things that we encounter every day and we think they are not giving us stress, but those are some external triggers of stress. Internal causes, there are things that we think sometimes that they don't affect us, but they do, and they affect the people around us. For example, pessimism. Have you ever been close to people who are just so negative? Hey, they are toxic. I'm telling you, me, I've been around somebody some time back, I won't say who was so negative. Every time anaongea nilikuwa nashikwa na stress, yani real stress. You just want to run away. You don't even understand. Unamwambia, I want to go and eat. Right now it's not a good time to eat. Those kind of people. Those kind of people are toxic, by the way. Leave them alone. So that is one cause of stress. The pessimism is a cause of stress to you as an individual and to those around you. Another internal cause of stress is inability to accept uncertainty. As we were talking in the other video about being aware of things that are around you, your limitations and all that. This is related. You have to accept that this is my situation and it's not going to change anytime soon. So if you accept that, you can evade stress, But if you cannot evade that, you're going to be stressed for the rest of your life. Take care of yourself. Another internal cause of stress is lack of flexibility or rigid thinking. You don't want to think about anything else except what you want. You're not, flexible in thoughts. You're not thinking about the pros and the cons. You're only thinking about the cons. So that is what lack of flexibility is about. Unrealistic expectations. Kwanza, people in new relationships, you want your boyfriend or you want your fiance or your husband to do things. Ladies, be careful. You can expect things that your man cannot give you, but tosheka, ukitosheka atakupea kile unataka. So this is one internal cause of stress, especially in relationship. There's another thing that affects so many people: an all or nothing attitude. If I do not get pizza today, I am not eating. Slay queens. If I am not given 100 bob today, if I don't, I will not. That is not a good attitude. It gives you stress in such a way that when you don't get what you want, you become melodramatic. Drama queens. So basically, those are the causes of stress, internal and external. I hope you have understood, and I'm sure so many of you have fallen in one category. So on to the next point. I'm going to talk about signs of stress overload or signs of chronic stress. Chronic stress, can wear the body's defenses. Let me explain that point easily. When you have chronic stress, the body does not relax. Your muscles are always tensed. Your body is in a state of alert all the time. This makes your heart race. So that is one sign of chronic stress. And when your heart races too fast, there's a lot of pumping of blood and all that. That is how that is why you find people who have gotten accustomed to stress. Oh my God. Rub that. Rub that. Those people who have gotten accustomed to stress have high blood pressure and hypertension. I know you know these diseases. Please don't get them. Don't stress yourself. Don't get them. Another sign of stress is a general feeling of being off it. You don't want to do anything. You just want to lie on the couch. You want to watch Netflix and chill the whole day. I mean, you're not even interested in doing anything. Even when you're Netflix and chilling, you're bored with that movie. You're not even watching it. You're just there. You don't want to cook. You don't want noise. You don't want, I mean, just being off it. Another sign of stress is aches and pain in the body. You know, sometimes you might feel pains that you can't explain. But I think this is because, you know, when your muscles are too tense everywhere, you're not relaxed, you tend to feel maybe some pain. Because the muscles want to release, but because of this kind of stress, they're just zimeshikana. You're not able to relax them. So that is another sign of stress. There's also weight gain or loss, both extremes. Hey, me, I think when I get stressed, I eat like a crazy person. So I lipuka. So we have to be able to control stress in such a way that you don't do both extremes, because even being too skinny is not good. Take care of yourselves. Another cause of stress is forgetfulness and trouble sleeping. I think this forgetfulness comes with thinking too much. You know, when you are in a long train of thoughts, you're just thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. You can be told to do something right now, but your short-term memory is not good because your brain is too busy to have any other input. So you find yourself forgetting things that you wanted to do, or things somebody has told you to do. That is another sign of stress. Another sign of stress is lack of sleep. I think also lack of sleep is caused by the train of thoughts. When you're thinking too much, your mind cannot rest. So when you go to sleep, you try closing your eyes, but your brain is so busy, it's so loud. So that is one of the sign of stress. There are so many other signs of stress. I'm sure you can even name them at the comment section. So if you remember a sign of stress, or if you were watching the video live, you can comment and we can continue talking about signs and causes of stress together. So I have a question that I'm going to answer myself. What factors can improve stress tolerance? So these are going to be important pointers. So if you have a pen, write them down. They are going to help you. Number 1, change of attitude. Be hopeful, be optimistic. I mean, when you're optimistic and you're hopeful, your chances of you get less vulnerable to stress. So embrace the challenges and have a strong sense of humor. Don't be a killjoy. Hey, don't be those people that make jokes. Yani people are making jokes, but you're just there. You're like, sasa amesema, sasa anafanya nini? I mean, be lively. You know, sometimes you just laugh at a joke because it's not funny, but the person who is saying it anaona ikiwa funny, so you just laugh together. You find yourself laughing, and that itself relieves you from stress. Believe in a higher purpose and accept change as an inevitable part of life. When you have a higher purpose, you know your direction. So regardless the change, may it be positive, may it be negative, you know where you're going, you know the direction of your life. So go towards that higher purpose. Hizi vinyangarika wachana nazo, they are not going to help you. You know, some change is so negative, it might pull you back. But when you keep your eyes at your higher purpose, I'm telling you, you're going to be at peak mental health. Have a sense of control. Be confident in the choices and ability to influence events. Don't let the physical environment choose for you. Don't let the physical control you. Control it. Young people, learn to say no. Hey, kwanza, you know, young people are so affected. I tell you, you might find us, I'm a young person, so you might find us trying to fit into a specific crowd. We are so invested in fitting to such a crowd. We get out of where we are, you know, out of our reality. Maybe your reality is you don't have money, but because you hang out with friends who have money, you go spend your savings for a month, my friend, utakula ugali na chumvi. Na hakuna mtu atakuletea pesa ya kuku. So use what you have. Learn to say no. If you say no today, tomorrow you will eat good lettuce, you'll eat good broccoli, you'll eat good, you'll eat healthy because you have money to make good food choices. We talked about that in the last video. So if you have not watched it, watch it. Have a good support network, a network of supportive friends, supportive family. These people are an enormous buffer for stress. Stress tries to creep in, but it buffers. Why? When you're with your family, they give you joy. I'm so happy to have a family. When I'm down, when I'm low, when I'm feeling, I can't. When somebody notices I am not doing well, they start talking to me. All of a sudden, nimepikiwa kuku. Look at that. If you have family, if you have friends, and they do this for you when you are feeling low, stress cannot creep in a load too, but it will never upload. It will just remain there. No internet service. So make sure you have family, you have friends close to you. Balance your emotions and identify and deal with emotions to increase tolerance. When you are emotionally stable, you are able to deal with situations. You're able to even tolerate those who have bad emotions. Those people who are angry, they are called grumpy. They are called grumpy people. You are able to deal with grumpy people. You are able to tolerate them. Another point is knowledge and preparation. The situation that you're in, you're supposed to have a perfect knowledge about that situation. For example, right now, it is Corona time. It is COVID-19 season. Know and learn about COVID-19. What are the signs? What are the symptoms? And all that. That is the situation that we are in. Learn it. Preparation. Prepare. When you're leaving the house and you want to go to the shop, you want to buy your bread and milk in the morning, you have to wear your mask. You have to have your sanitizer. So you have prepared in advance. So there is no stress. When somebody coughs at you or you touch a surface, you're not too over-conscious about getting the virus. So let us learn about the virus. Let us know what we can do to not get the virus so that we may not be stressed. When you're stressed every time you leave the house, that is not good. So let us know the situation and prepare. When you know you're going to be laid off work, you prepare. You put your savings aside that can last you a specific period of time. And before then, I declare that you're going to get another job before then. So you see, you're going to get another job before that time comes, or you're going to have a plan B and C and D. Another thing, to cope with stress, you can do stress journaling. You write down. When you're feeling depressed, you write down. I know teenagers and young people do this a lot, especially young girls. I don't understand why men don't like writing things, but girls like, and it helps. Me, I've been writing since I was in class 8, I think. When I have stress about something, I feel somebody has really annoyed me, I would write it down and it would leave me. So I think we should start a culture of stress journaling and keep it private. And those people who are nosy, please don't start reading people's journals. You'll get angry for nothing. So start journaling. Write those things that are stressing you. If you have relationship difficulty, write it down. Ask for guidance. As we talked in the other video, there's something called intellectual growth. For you to grow intellectually and know how to deal with your relationship, ask for guidance from your parents. Ask somebody you trust, your mentors. And as you write this down, you're going to be able to deal with that specific kind of stress. So before I finish that section, I want to talk about some 6 slogans that I think they're important. They're things that we know, but I call them a remedy for a broken existence. maybe you can call them differently, but that's what I call them. Number one is get moving. When you wake up in the morning and put your foot out of that bed, keep in mind that you're going to move. Get moving. Number two, as you finish showering, put in your mind that you want to connect with others. When you connect with others, you're able to form connections, you're able to form, you're going to even get channels for jobs, channels for all those things. Number three, engage yourself. Do not stay idle. Do not sit on that couch the whole day. Look for something to do. Read. I don't know. Something that is interesting to you. Engage yourself the whole day. Another thing, learn to relax. When you feel that you're getting overwhelmed, learn to relax. Learn to stay zen. In every situation, stay zen. Learn to relax. Number five, eat healthy. As we were talking still in the other video, we talked about having healthy choices. So don't do pizza Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Monday. Repeat. Have healthy choices. Number six, get your rest. Get your rest. Don't sleep on that couch watching TV the whole night. You'll get overwhelmed. So keep those 6 slogans in your day-to-day, and I tell you, you will feel energized. The last thing I want to talk about is relaxation techniques. I'll just name them and explain them. So the first relaxation technique is deep breathing. Just breathing in and taking out negative energy. Breathing in the positive, taking out the negative. You breathe out through your mouth. The second is progressive muscle relaxation. This involves different muscle groups in the body. Number three, we have body scan meditation. Focuses also on different parts of the body. There's also visualization. This is guided by imagery. Imagine you are in a peaceful place. You imagine where you think is a peaceful place and focus on that. There's also self-massage, massaging different parts of your body where you feel this muscle tension. You massage. It's good to do this before you go to sleep. You'll sleep like a baby. The sixth is mindful meditation. Mindful meditation is not worrying about the future, not dwelling on the past, but switching your focus on something that is happening right now, being engaged in the present. In the present, that means sahizo, not something that happened 5 minutes ago or a minute ago, in the moment. Number 7, there's rhythmic movement and mindful exercise. This involves swimming. You can dance to a beat. You can run in rhythm and all that. Number 8, we have yoga and Tai Chi. Yoga, some people don't like yoga because it's too energetic, but yoga is good for those who want to relax their minds. Yoga is basically different movements of the body. Tai Chi is systematic movement. Have you ever seen people in a field doing things systematically at the same time, as at a synchronized manner? So that is Tai Chi. Before I finish, in my conclusion, I want to remind you that you set aside 10 to 20 minutes of your day to do some exercises, to do some meditation. If your schedule is packed, if you are busy from the time you wake up and the time you sleep, put aside 2 minutes. You can even go to the washroom of your workplace. If it's clean, they are dirty ones. So if it's clean, you can go there, sit down, listen to calming music for 5 minutes and relax. So it is good to have 10 to 20 minutes or even a few minutes to put your body and your mind at ease. Also, make use of your gadgets as aids to guide you through different relaxation practices. For example, when you want to do yoga, you can follow a YouTube clip that shows you the techniques for yoga. You can also listen to music as you're running. So make use of your smartphones, make use of your MP3s and all that. And I want to remind you, as you do all these things, expect ups and downs. There's nothing that runs smoothly. There's nothing that you start and goes all the way positive. So as you do this, expect up and downs and prepare your mind psychologically to deal with the situations. Before I end this clip, I want to end it with a myth that we've already explained facts about them. So the myth is stress is bad for us. We have known now, if you've gone through the whole clip, that the right amount of stress is beneficial. Acute stress makes you run. It's beneficial. Stress, you have a job deadline and you have to finish your work on time. It's beneficial to have that kind of stress to give you the motivation to do that thing in good time. So that is the conclusion of this video, and I want to thank you so much for your comments, your responses, and those who are sending in your questions. May God continue to bless you and help you grow psychologically and mentally. So thank you once again. Signing out.